What's up, guys? In today's video, I am going to be doing a first impressions on multiple fragrances. So one's going to be Royal Water, the other one's going to be Creed's Millésime, Millésime 1849, which is the Harrods exclusive. A Bulgari fragrance that it's got a sample of, and Le Male Elixir Absolute, which I've already smelled before, but I'll smell it again just because I got a sample in today. So let's go ahead and get started with just the samples. I'll go ahead and spray them on skin. There's a mail call, so I was about to go to work, or not even about to go to work. I'm about to go get ready for work, but might as well just start spraying fragrances on me, and then I will worry about this later. I'll, scrubbing everything off. Le Male Elixir Absolute. I think this is a better fragrance than the regular Elixir. Just not for me though. I just don't really care too much about it. That it's just that typical designer DNA, which I guess is a hot take. Everybody loves these fragrances, and Elixir Absolute is one of those that is getting a lot of attention right now. But honestly, for myself, I could barely care. I just don't care about it. Then we have this Bulgari sample. It's I'm pretty sure it's a woman's fragrance, but I'm not too sure. It's Eau Perfume de Blanc. Looks like it'll be a nice fragrance for women, but I will go ahead and see if it's unisex at least. Where is this atomizer? Might be that. All right, initial spray smells like paint. Okay, like it freshens up a bit, but initial spray to me was pretty much just smelled like paint, like wet paint. It's like a fresh, yeah, that's definitely a women's fragrance. So the notes, or some of the notes, is white musk and chine white tea, and SFE extract. I'm not too sure exactly what that is. That's similar to like a Dior Homme cologne, but a little bit more, probably the tea note that's coming across. It's a little slight greenness, kind of, but like a leafy kind of green to it, which is probably the tea. So this, I would probably say this is a female fragrance. But now let's get to the Creeds. So for the Creeds, Royal Water is one I have smelled before, but it's been a long time. I don't really remember what it smells like. Yeah, let's go ahead and pull it out. So here we go, Royal Water, just because I need a few more Creeds in my collection, right? Not too sure exactly what the notes are. I know this is Creed's Juniper fragrance. Like I said, I have smelled it before, just don't really remember what it smells like. Okay, out in the air, kind of smells like the dry down of Water Portugal, which is not a bad thing. Up close, it has a little bit more citrus. I'm not sure if it's like a lemon or bergamot. The juniper isn't really straightforward like a Gentle Fleur de Silver. It's more, you can't really smell it. Maybe you can smell it more while it dries down. Not a bad fragrance. I'm not sure exactly when this fragrance came out for Creed, but it's definitely a little bit more on the, not old man smelling. I would say more of like a Creed Water Portugal. That's a, one of those kind of fougere fragrances. I think it's nice. I think it'll be a good fragrance for the summer. I actually don't know why this fragrance gets the hate it gets. Yeah, it's pretty much the dry down of Water Portugal, if you've smelled that before. With citruses. So not a bad fragrance at all. And then let's go get into the fragrance I really want to get into. Not that, I don't want to get into this fragrance, but this is the Rarest exclusive that recently, I think, became available overall. I got my tester from Joma Shop and it sold out very quickly. I got lucky to grab this tester. This is a fragrance I've never smelled, so this is a complete blind buy. And I have looked at the reviews. It hasn't been any positive. Maybe a little bit, maybe some here and there, but you know what, let me go ahead and show this bottle. 1849. But definitely excited for this. Okay. This is definitely a very old school smelling. It's interesting. It's I will put it with something like a Royal Mayfair from Creed that it's not for everybody. This is definitely vintage, so it seems like they went for like a very old, and I'm talking about very old, like the best thing I could, I don't know, it's a really old fragrance that I could relate it to, but I mean, it says Millésime 1849. Definitely smells like something that they would wear maybe around that time, right? But a little bit modernized, not gonna lie. So it's like slight there that, you might hate it if you hate those really old fragrances. This is kind of like a nod to like vintage fragrances, I feel like. So I would say it's like a nod to those vintage fragrances, a little bit modernized, not as difficult to like those very old vintage fragrances. This, I'm not sure how this is going to dry down, honestly. Let me pull up the notes on this fragrance just because I need to take a look at it. And this fragrance right now, it's going for $340 on Joma Shop. Talking about that, if you would like a code, use my link down below, which is an affiliate link. I do get a small commission, but here is a $10 off code of $180 over. So if you're going to look into purchasing this fragrance, you can use code LMKP53T. So L as in Larry, M as in Mary, K as in Kelvin, P as in Paul, 53, T as in Tom. And so basically going for $340 on Joma Shop and $495 on Creed's website. All right, let me take a look at this. All right, so the notes are citrus, fresh, spicy, aromatic, yellow floral. So top notes are bergamot, lemon, and grapefruit. Middle notes are ylang ylang, jasmine, rose, and iris. Base notes are bay leaf, thyme, cedar, and incense. It dries down easier to wear as of right now. That's what, maybe 2 minutes. So it's interesting. I enjoy it. It's probably that ylang ylang that's coming off a little weird, or maybe a little bit vintage. Could be that bay leaf note. I don't think I have any other fragrances with bay leaf. The cedar wood, okay, all right, so the cedar wood, it's coming across like Royal Oud's cedar wood. Or let me make sure that Royal Oud has cedar wood, but it smells a little like Royal Oud. And if there's any similar notes in there, it's gonna be that cedar wood. Yeah, so cedar wood, so it's definitely the same cedar wood that they used in Royal Oud. This is drying down to be closer to Royal Oud, but not close enough to be redundant. it's just going to give you hints of that cedar wood from Royal Oud. That's a better way of understanding what this fragrance smells like. Right now it's drying closer to Royal Oud. You do get that pissy opening from like very old school fragrances. Talking about that, I need to go pick up a box of very old fragrances from my aunt in Connecticut. She has a whole treasure chest of fragrances for me. Some that are like the first made fragrances and stuff like that, that I need to make a video of, but I just haven't had the time to drive over to Connecticut to pick that up. But this is interesting. Honestly, this is, I don't know. It's interesting that Creed would make a fragrance like this. Keep in mind, this was a Harrods exclusive. So Harrod, I believe, is a UK company. So are they trying to go kind of royalty with, is this what they were trying to go for? Some kind of royalty? Actually, let me check to see if there is a, there's no, well, actually, let me check their website. Maybe like a backstory to this. Come on. Every advertisement on the Creed's website is going to pop up on me. All right, so a modern evocation of elegance. Millésime 1849 is an exquisite fragrance, specially reawakened from the House of Creed. Celebrated perfume vaults to honor Harrod's 175-year legacy. It combines richness and warmth with a sophisticated modern sensibility. I don't know. I wonder if there's some more. Okay. So it says, celebrate timeless style with Millésime 1849, a new limited edition masterpiece meticulously reawakened from the House of Creed's esteemed perfume vaults. This exhilarating fragrance has now been given new life, opening with fresh bursts of Calabrian. I guess I'm not educated at all. Calabrian bergamot. This exclusive eau de parfum reveals its generous warmth from the very first moment. The rich floral essence of jasmine, rose, and ylang ylang at its heart are inviting yet sophisticated, while the woody aromatics of precious cedar and evocative floral intertwine for an elegant dry down. And the actual notes that they have, I wonder, Millésime 1849, is this the name of the original fragrance before it was vaulted? Let me search this up. Yeah, so it is actually 1849. So this is, I'll pull it up right here just because this is what the old one looked like, and it is going on sale on eBay for $849. So that is what the old version of it looked like. So I wonder how much they changed it for the re-release. Maybe modern. I mean, they said modernized, so they probably did make a few changes to it. People on eBay are selling this fragrance for like $500. I don't think they got the memo that Joma Shop has it now. But yeah, very interesting from Creed. I'm going to go ahead and spray it again just to get that opening out in the air. All right, this is gonna sound weird, but the opening smells similar, or it smells like a mix, especially out in the air, like green Irish tweed mixed with Royal Oud, but the cedar in Royal Oud. That's what this smells like out in the air. So this is probably gonna be a compliment getter without expecting it. Yeah, I think it's really interesting. It's an interesting release from Creed. Let's go ahead and get back to Royal Water now that it's dried a little bit down on the skin. Gets more citrusy. I don't really get too much of that Bought Portugal dry down. Actually, yeah, it's still there. Let me go ahead and pull up the notes. It's gonna be a long video. You can find the Royal Water on Beauty Live right now for $150 as a tester. Decent, that's a pretty good price for it. If anyone was interested, just because for Joma Shop it's going for $171. If you're looking for full presentation, looks like the perfume spot probably has the best price for it. Or maybe actually Beauty Live. Or you can just check out the affiliate links I have down in the description below and check this fragrance out. But all right, so this came out in 1997. Accords are citrus, fresh, spicy, fresh, aromatic, musky, green, herbal, and powdery. Makes sense. It does smell a little bit like a 90s fragrance. Top notes are citruses, bergamot, mandarin, vervain. Middle notes are basil, allspice, cumin, and that was the middle notes. And base notes are musk and cedarwood. So, no one says that this smells like Bought Portugal. All right. They say this smells like Clive Christian's 1872 for men. Yeah. I'm happy. I'm happy. Of course, I love my Creeds. I'm happy. 2 Creeds at once. This is great. I think my next Creed purchases, and every time I talk about almost having the full Creed collection, I remind myself that I sold Viking Cologne. I don't have Millésime Imperial. Neroli Sauvage is one that I got rid of, and I would probably never buy that one again, just because the performance on that one, unfortunately, it's not that great. Maybe like 4 hours, if that, maybe 3. Centaurus and Delphinus, those are probably going to be my last ones, my last Creed purchases, unless something new comes out for Creed that, piques my interest. I'm trying to think of what else I don't have. The Early Sauvage, Viking Cologne, Centaurus, Delphinus, and the Early Sauvage is just not going to happen again. But yeah, I think that is all I have for you guys today. Please leave a like, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. If this is a very interesting, I think this is an interesting thing to fragrance to talk about. Especially this one doesn't really get any attention, probably because it's one of Creed's most expensive fragrances right now. And then we have Royal Water, which is the fragrance that's always overlooked. And actually, this is probably the most hated Creed fragrance out of all of them. And it's probably one of the easiest ones to like. So that's interesting. I think people just love to hate on the brand. It is what it is. But yeah, that is all I have for you guys today. Please leave a like and subscribe. I will see you guys on the next video. Have a good one, guys.